except the CIA hasn't given you $10,000 and they pay for it yet.
We are live, by the way.
Oh,
sounds like
I'm
socialism to me.
I'm not a terrorist. Only on Minecraft.
Well, my opening statement is that I am not a terrorist, no matter what they say.
Let's see. Let me.
Sounds
add
a whole lot like
description to
terrorism
this.
to me.
And then,
Shut up,
you guys
Paxton.
want to take a second to share this crap around real quick while we wait for people to show up?
Why don't we introduce ourselves?
Do what?
Let's introduce ourselves.
Yes, introduce ourselves. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mad LiberTEA Party, Spilling the LiberTEA. We're going to be doing this every week. This is the second time. We have more people.
Every
I'm
week
Mike.
except when we don't.
Shut up. I'm Mike, and I'm weird, I guess, and always busy. Who else is here?
Hello. My name is... Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
My name is Dr. Melanie Chartier. I'm a junior policy advisor at the Blowjob Institute.
Okay, we're still going to go with that. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, exactly. That's who I am. I mean, I wouldn't lie, Mr. Paxton, wouldn't I? That'd be a bad idea.
Bold of you to
That would
assume
be
Paxton is his
terrible.
real name.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's how Paxton identifies.
Viable Russian spy.
Paxton
Oh my
identifies as Paxton. That's his gender.
Yeah.
Mikhail,
Identifies
you're not
as a
supposed to kill
Paxton.
Westerners yet.
Did you just say Zigile?
Mikhail.
Oh,
Mikhail.
okay. I thought we were going to go a different route there for a second.
Nope. Other one. Other
Okay.
evil.
Oh, that's a different YouTube video.
And yeah.
It was a good start.
Oh my god, you guys are horrible people. We're gonna talk about people doing good shit, I hope, instead of horrible people stuff.
You didn't let I3 introduce himself.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh yeah, I3, you go.
I am a machine. I am I3.
He's in the Matrix.
I could tell he's been waiting so long to say that.
Yeah.
We're all in the machine, technically. I mean, depending on what you call the
I
machine.
am the machine.
We're in you.
You are in me.
Oh,
I'm raging against you.
oh, are you?
If you're raging against me, don't worry. I have a couple of squigglies to come after you.
A squiggly. Oh god. I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible.
It's a little machine that look like squids, the squiddies. The machines that come after the humans in Zion.
Zip ties are fascinating.
Not when you're stuck in them.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself cuffed with zip ties.
Is that your new kink now? Do we need the doctor on?
No. No. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Is that a new new kink, doctor? Is zip ties a new kink?
Yeah, cops are practicing it worldwide. I mean, nationwide as we speak. Oh, that killed the room. Anyway, so like, anyone want to talk about what's going on? How are the protests in y'all's different areas? Like, when I was with you, Paxton, it was very violent. Is it still that way? Are you guys still protesting?
Whoa. It was not very violent unless you're talking about the police.
I'm talking about the police. The police were there. The looters were a bit violent, but the cops were actually more violent than the police if you think about it. They were like firing tear gas into moving traffic and shit.
Yeah, it's definitely toned down quite a bit. I mean, they're still doing protests and stuff like that, but there's not large organizations like there was one of the two. But yeah, it's still an ongoing thing. I mean, it doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon, so that is a good thing. But no major updates. It's just kind of a still chugging along type of deal, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, most cities, like if you're like in Philly or you're in DC, it's like rock hard, but you know, where I am, it's just all droopy and, you know, flaccid, you know, so.
Yes.
Not really much action here. It's droopy and flaccid where I'm at. But you know, if you're in DC, if you're in Philly, you know, it's like you got some rock hard, you know, action. You know what I'm saying?
It's relatively peaceful here on the protesters side, but everybody's like really organized, and they're talking about like bringing the community together and shit instead of like.
Mhm.
And I mean, yes, this is very much a black problem, but it's not just a black problem, it's everybody's fucking problem. And I keep seeing, you know, like people being like, well, if they didn't focus on the black part of it so much, I'd be really interested in coming out there. And I'm like, yeah, but like, how do we lower, how, you know, like everybody's talking about don't lower the bar, don't lower the bar. How do we raise the bar if we don't fucking reach down to find where it's at? And like, I'm not saying black people are beneath us. I'm saying that that's the ground zero. Like,
That's how they're being treated.
native people and
Mhm.
black people are getting it way worse than the rest of us, and we're all getting it. And it needs to stop, if you ask me. And we're not going to be able to do that and help each other from our perspective corners. I think we need to come together. And they've been a really good example here. Like everybody's being smart. There's not a lot of like looting or craziness, but yet we still have National Guard and state police everywhere, and we're in a state of emergency for some fucking reason. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. It's like, well, you tell them about the amount of cop cars you saw and what they were doing. Like that's way too many.
Oh, hey, that's my cue.
Mhm.
So I was downtown yesterday over here in Phoenix, and there were a lot of cop cars. I was walking from where I was parked, which was far away from anything that's going on because I like my car. And I in walking over there, I passed a few like entire like streets were just closed down, cop cars lining them. There were I can't remember the exact street. I think it was I'm not going to go into specifics, but like there were roads that were entirely full of cop cars, both sides, dozens of them, probably hundreds of police officers. Mike saw the pictures. One of the parking garages over by Chase Field was like entirely just full of cop cars. And I assume that's because they know if they had them in the police station parking lot, the cop cars would get torched. But there were so many of them, and they were all like ready to go. And in walking around for probably an hour and a half, right, Mike? I was on the
Yeah.
phone with you for a lot of it. I did not see a single protester. I was the only not homeless person that I was able to find outside that day, actually. So, besides a couple of conversations with police, there was no interaction. There was no protest that I could find, but there were still hundreds of cops all around.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's our
He
tax
was
money at work there.
sending pictures and stuff of that, and I'm gonna probably be putting some of that stuff in the things that we're editing together to show people and stuff. But like,
I'm
it's a
important.
huge waste of all these tax dollars they say they fucking need to take from us. And
It really kind of shows you how much waste they do have.
yeah,
Like this is what they are spending your money on to oppress people that are in strong disagreement with them. And this isn't even a libertarian issue. This isn't an RO issue. This is largely across the American spectrum. I was talking to my family. We had a family get together the other night, and they're mostly Republican, and they all kind of agree on the idea that the militarization of police is strongly unnecessary, that they've really gone outside the realm of serving and protecting, that they've gone into the realm of enforcing. Whenever we're having to call in National Guard, there might be some problems. If the people are that dissatisfied with things that they're having protests that last weeks, much like the French are dealing with, maybe there's a problem and maybe you shouldn't be fucking shooting more people over it.
right.
Maybe actually fix the fucking problems for once.
I think the original message, though, is lost. Floyd was arrested by a cashier who called it in by police force, just enforcing a law that is one of the toughest in the country regarding a fraudulent $20 bill. And no one's called to reduce or eliminate that law that had Floyd arrested. And no one brings that point up. No one brings the point of what was the company policy. There was a video I saw that we shouldn't call the cops on somebody every single time. We should allow private resources and private pass first before we go to any public official. So why did the company, a small grocery store chain, I think, had the policy of calling the cops the first sign of trouble? Why was Floyd arrested on a fraudulent $20 bill when in fact the Fed and the Federal Reserve do fraudulent activity every single day? We're not talking about that. We're not talking about reducing taxes to where the police department is so small that the citizenry is more armed than the police. We're not talking about that.
Well, they
We're
are
not
talking
Well,
about
some people are.
defunding them, actually.
They have defunded them.
Yeah,
and-
they are talking about
Sorry.
defunding them at least and stuff like
But-
that. And
Yeah.
out in my neighborhood, they're talking about how you do know that when they stop you and they do traffic citations and shit is going straight to the police department, and that's a conflict of interest. And that's something that I have seen mentioned here at least. But they're even saying, you know, like not enough people are saying this. We need to freaking bring this up. We need to push this. And it's true.
If we have a wave of people who are pushed by zeal to start defunding police departments, it can, in many ways, by de facto, like actually get rid of some of these laws, because then people are going to have to deal with the fact that police only have limited amount of resources. They're not necessarily going to be called to deal with small bullshit, and it's going to lead people to come up with private solutions.
Well,
I think
we
it's
need to
possibly the
get
good
rid of
thing
our-
about the Minneapolis. Some people are fear mongering about it, but I think it might actually it's going to do probably a lot of good, since people are going to
Well,
find their own solutions to problems that are small.
Brought up this, Eric July brought up in one of his videos, is that he would be all for this, but Minneapolis City Council and the folks there cannot replace it with what they're replacing it now, because it's going to be more tax money. They have
What
to
are they
defund it
replacing
and
it with?
end it. They're not defunding it and ending it. They're defunding it and replacing it.
With what?
Replacing it with something that could cost the taxpayers unnecessary funding to a department that may or may not do anything.
So what exactly are they trying to replace it with?
I don't know the exact title, Michael, but it seems like it would be like a community and diversity resource center, or community members involved in policing their own neighborhoods, but not necessarily decentralized. It's going to be like a centralized command, like police. But instead of having police being armed, what they're going to do is, I don't know if they're going to be armed or not, but what they're going to do is create more holistic choices and options. They may not work considering the actual videos I've seen. And I listen to the right a lot, and some of what they're fear mongering has a point. Now, it's all lost in their fear mongering.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's like Alex Jones. When you weed through his conspiracies, you find a kernel of truth, and we need to address that truth. The truth is that a lot of people in Minneapolis are not armed. Why? Oh, it's Minnesota law or Minneapolis law. Well, we need to fix that. It's not being talked about.
We need to arm all of our communities.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
that
just
people
saying,
calling
you
us
know-
white nationalists right now. No.
That's everyone. Homeless
can't-
people, all the colors, gay people, get them all guns. Everyone.
Only
Sure.
socialism I'm
you-
supporting is government-funded mandatory guns.
Mike, you know what my Discord activity thing says?
What?
Arm
at
the
it.
homeless, right?
Yes.
Oh, does it?
I'm homeless.
Yeah, it does.
You know, there was a homeless guy that had his stuff burned by some protesters or rioters. I don't know if it was in LA or San Francisco, but it was heartbreaking to see. And I'm afraid, that might happen more if we don't have a way to, on one end, you don't have the police harassing the homeless, but on the other end, you don't have the homeless having a resource to go to if they get attacked.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah,
honestly,
like, think
enough
about what
people
group-
also, a lot of people care about the homeless. If you see somebody picking on a homeless person and you're an armed and trained person, you can just walk over there and be like, excuse you, you need to shove off. They don't even have to protect. We can help protect each other.
And that's what we should be doing. 100%. We should be defending all the members of our community from all sorts of tyranny, whether it's from the government or from other individuals. And also, can
that
you
goes
hear the
for-
air conditioner, or am I in the clear?
You're
can't hear
okay.
you.
You're good, Max.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I just want to address something I3 brought up actually, because you said something about like how it just depends, like depending on the implementation, it could be a lot worse than the police in terms of like funding or even possibly the actions that they engage in. I think that the main thing that I'm more curious about is the fact that we have such a uniformity in how we deal with law enforcement. Is that'd be interesting to see more people experiment and try new things. Possibly you might be actually right, because I haven't done a full dive into it. And you're probably actually right that Minneapolis solution might actually be worse or have its own set of problems. And it also could just lead to criminals getting away with actual crimes that are damaging.
That is the fear, that is the concern.
And that's
Doctor,
probably
that,
going to happen. Yeah.
Some
solutions are going to be worse than the police. So probably, I'm just hoping that we can get better solutions, and then people can then start, more experimentation is probably a better idea, even if some people, ends up worse. But
it really seems like a lot of these problems are intertwined with many other problems, and so we're gonna have to fix a lot of things. We can't just snap our fingers and one thing is gonna fix everything.
Now, I do
and we
think
can't
a great
stop
idea.
after they fix one thing too, which is like a trend that like comes up. Like they'll give us something nice, and we'll get the big serotonin boost and shit like that or whatever, and then we'll all just kind of roll over for them to go back to fucking us again.
Well, it's
So
going
are
to
you
take
guys
time.
aware what they tried in Camden, New Jersey?
Oh yeah,
Like
I heard about that.
My family is from there, so I knew a bit about this for a while, hearing it from my family. But what they tried to do, they basically just disbanded the police force, and then obviously they brought it right back. But they basically, what they did is they fired everybody. Everybody had to reapply. Everybody had to get vetted again. They had to make sure that all those bad apples, because there was a lot of corruption. There's a lot of abuse of power going on there, and they use that as an opportunity to get rid of the bad apples. Is that like a final step that we need to take? Just like do that, done, off our plate. Everything is perfect. We all live kumbaya, yeah. That's not going to fix everything. But I do think that that's a really great first step that we should be taking.
Well, the first step we need to address is police brutality, which is sort of getting lost quickly, and that is, what was the reasoning behind the actions that officer committed?
I can't think of any reason to kill somebody.
Well, it's the training.
$20 is $20, Mike.
There's a great piece. I don't know if Democracy Now! Did this or not, but there's a great piece somewhere on a liberal blog about police training being done to the point to where they see civilians armed and ready, and so they're they put themselves in a position to where the civilian is already armed or already causing trouble. And there's several angles that have been shown to explore a narrative that is true or not true, depending on which side you believe in.
So what you're saying is disarm the populace so the police are less scared.
That's
disarm the police so that the populace are less scared.
That's the training being done. Not only that, is that they're trained to perceive the situation as hostile, not to de-escalate. So every situation
they aren't trained to de-escalate.
They're trained to be hostile towards civilians.
All they know how to do is escalate.
I just want to build on that. Have you actually fucking seen some of the fucking footage? I was watching, what was his name? I want to say like Severe or Severe. There's this guy who walked out of his, I think it was a hotel that they were staying out with his girlfriend or something like that. And a police officer has an AR-15 on him, has them both get on the ground, and he's acting like these guys are fucking nuclear armed fucking terrorists, the way that he's talking to them. And he literally tells these people that if they fucking so much as move, that he's going to kill them. Just straight up fucking kill them.
It sounds like he was holding hostages. That's
exactly what it fucking is. We'll I'll find the YouTube video again. I'm sure it's still in my history here.
We'll try to link it.
Yeah, I'll get a link up for it here. Yeah. But it was just brutal. Like I couldn't. It was so difficult to fucking watch that. These are the people that we're paying with our tax dollars, and it's not serving and protecting. The way that you fucking hear him, it's like he's jerking himself off with a fucking power trip. while he's doing this and threatening repeatedly to murder these people if they do not listen to him word for word. Let's see.
And that's also another point. The tax thing. There's a lot of people who are, and I saw a lot of broken windows, and I have a lot of pictures of broken windows from last night when I was downtown. And I do not support attacking private businesses. I do not support attacking any institution, any building, just for the record. But who paid for those windows? All of this would not exist. That courthouse, Sandra Day O'Connor, and the police station and City Hall, those things would not exist if it was not for our tax money. So who should these things really belong to? Nobody's complaining if I break my own window that I paid for, but when society breaks a window that society paid for, everybody loses their shit.
Yeah.
Well, to answer that, it would have to be specific to, because some of these buildings were built before the small business owner moved in, Maxwell. So they may.
Well, I'm against all cases of like
It was,
they rent. They don't necessarily pay because they rent from a landlord or lease, and so it's the landlord's view that the landlord doesn't have to pay taxes, but then they can't do business in a sad city. They can't do business inside of Phoenix city limits.
Well, then again, Chairman Mao told me that landlords aren't people. So.
Well, yeah, Mao was not a good guy.
No.
But yeah,
I feel like
Daniel Shaver.
Go ahead, Paxton.
I was just saying it was Daniel Shavers who was talking about.
Okay.
I put that link over in the chat next to there if anybody wants to see it.
Plug for the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm on my mobile phone, so I'm not going to see the chat.
Me either.
Well, I haven't seen anybody say anything in it yet, but I usually try and point it out. If you guys have anything to add in here, we'll hit us up and shit.
Well,
also,
here's the thing. I saw like Maxwell, I saw the protest, but I saw live stream. So I was on the live stream for 4.5 hours watching the live stream as the protest took place in Lynn Park in downtown Birmingham. It was similarly related to George Floyd, but not really. But I was like, okay, you want to remove Confederate monuments, go ahead, remove them safely, done, get it over with, go home. What happened, Mike and Maxwell, this is what took place. Immediately after the mayor and the lead organizer decided Tuesday morning, which was the 2nd of June, if it's not removed, they're gonna revolt. So we had an agreed upon arrangement. Right after that, the people from another town left. The people that were there were not familiar enough with the downtown area. I don't know who these people are, but then they started rioting. And let me tell you, they attacked a journalist, they attacked community members, they attacked people in the crowd, then they went after the businesses.
And I'm in support of any attacks on any individuals that are not attacking you. And if the police are attacking you, defend yourself. If other individuals are attacking you, defend yourself.
We can't, well, at least I can, but the city of Birmingham cannot. It's a gun-free zone.
Oh, of course it is.
Technically, it's not enforced, Maxwell. It's not. It's a gun-free zone on paper, per se.
Oh.
The cops here are really relaxed, but they're like, we're not going to enforce it. Yeah, but to me, I was watching in real time, seeing these windows broken, seeing these people attacked in a live stream, and that really affected me. And it's pushing me a little bit toward the right, to be honest. And I know, but it's pushing me toward the right. Now, I'm not saying I'm right wing. It's just I can sympathize with people on the right when they have these arguments and debates.
And we definitely do need to condemn the people who are doing this vandalism.
Like, I'm not cool with vandalizing your community or attacking your own people. Now, I'm not gonna fucking mourn or even do a goddamn thing to stop it. Typically, if I see somebody going after like a cop car or something like that, I'm not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna condone it. Even though
Well,
here in Little Rock they've actually got things pretty chill. There's not any like looting or
All right.
vandalism going on as far as I know. Um, unless something's happening and it's not being reported by anybody. I don't think anything's happening at this point for the most part. But like I personally wouldn't condemn the destruction of like police property and police cars and pushing back.
Well,
Well, we paid for that property.
well,
Well,
you
No,
can
we
say
didn't.
you paid
They
for that
stole our money
property,
and used
but
it to buy a
they were not
military force
protecting the
against us.
businesses. They were not protecting the people and businesses. The police, once the agreement were made to have these statues removed, the police took a step 2 blocks back. And that's when the rioting and looting happened. And it happened for nearly an hour without police involvement. And that just, to me, kind of like,
It's almost like they want people to do that.
they do
It's
want
almost like
people
we're
to do
being
that
attacked.
because then they can justify, oh, they're
they've
attacking private
encouraged-
property.
Well,
This isn't the state versus you. This is black rioters.
then you
That's
get-
what they want people to do.
Yeah,
They
and they
want
want
people to
everybody to
get
think,
right wing because it's a right wing government right now.
to be honest, they keep taking like images of things going on in different protests around the world. I mean, around the nation right now, and trying to tell people that all of the protesters are doing this and it's all this bad everywhere and shit. Like we have people in freaking Arkansas who think there's looting going on, but there's not
There-
any.
There's a
in here.
huge difference
like,
between all these
we've had-
protests.
And the
They're not a
left
model.
and the left and the right are twisting this to serve
exactly,
their better,
yeah, I agree.
what's
It's-
good for them, and people are eating it up on both sides.
Maxwell, what were you going to say?
So, for example, there were people not totally unrelated to George Floyd. There's an individual, I can't remember his last name, Dion something. I feel awful, I forgot the name, but he was killed just a bit before George Floyd was here in Arizona. And people like they were saying it was Floyd related, but really it wasn't. Like when a police station window got smashed before any of these riots even started. That half the signs were "Remember Dion" and didn't have anything to do with George Floyd when I went there last week.
Well,
So
George Floyd is not the reason why people are doing this. He was
no, it's systemic. Like the entire government is conspiring against its own people. The entire government is oppressing its people. That's what the problem is. This is not a single death or a single individual. This is all the people ever since Rodney King. This is all the people even back towards the civil rights movement. This is all of the injustices that have ever been committed against the American people, and it's all coming to a head here. We can't act like it's a single event.
We can't, and we can't let them actually do what they're trying to do, which is divide us up into groups that will fight each other instead of fighting them.
I love when I saw the Antifa flag and the "Don't Tread on Me" flag right next to each other.
Chills.
I mean, well,
but speaking of which, like, I know that we've been talking about the protests and stuff like that, but what really has been one of the things that's really been bugging the shit out of me and making me nervous and actually scaring people is that our president and like the left and the right are doing this actually, targeting groups that are liberty oriented and stuff like that. Like the left is focusing on the Boogaloo Boys and trying to prove that they're alt-right white supremacists and shit. When
we aren't,
by the way. There, we see
they're not
so
really
many
all right. They're like
images
on
and
the left.
videos of them. They're not left or right. They're anti-tyranny. That's it. They're all these different groups and shit like that. But there are people out there like trying to help defend the protests and stuff like that and pouring of images and stuff like that, and they're still ignoring it. And then we have the right talking about how all Antifa are a terrorist, which is bullshit.
And
Like,
all anarchists are Antifa.
And all anarchists are dangerous extremist Antifa. And they're targeting liberty oriented groups. Prior to this, when was it? I can't remember if it was who it was that died more recently, and one of the reasons they tried to give for why it was okay that he was being like targeted was that he was a libertarian too. So you minarchists aren't even safe. They're slipping it in there. And it feels like, if we don't find some sort of unity soon, that, we might actually be the next minority they come after, liberty people.
We're entering the black
we are
pit.
a small group of people.
Like I'm starting to see the entire country turn against anarchists. We're the common enemy. We're the new Soviets. It's the black scare. This is what we're
instead
turning
of it
into.
being the red scare, it's the black scare, and we'll do that as a double entendre too, because they're trying to make. It feels like in a lot of communities they're trying to make people afraid of the black community, trying to
It's
say
either
that they're
blacks or
evil.
anarchists or
Horrible.
pale. Why not both?
Well, I kind of have a different opinion on the matter. I think
A contrarian?
my race is being attacked. That's what I feel like. Now, I don't think that. Logically, I know it's not being attacked. But when I see these tweets in my hometown, well, not actually my hometown, but a town next to me, about, kill all whites and, whites have it coming and we should go in their privileged neighborhoods, and the whites in these high priced homes have it coming and stuff like that. When I see that on Twitter, and this is, a few miles away from me, I am greatly concerned. And these are not
now
people
think about how it must feel for the black people who for the past few centuries have been hearing all whites or all blacks should be killed.
Yeah, but it's still not okay though.
Yeah,
none of
Racism
this
is
is okay.
uneducated and
Nothing that's happening
unethical.
right now is
Oh
okay.
my God, everyone is talking at once.
There is no logic to racism. Racism is pure fear mongering. It's going to
it's colorblind. It should be. It is
And
to me.
not to mention, like, there have been like people being called out and found out for like intentionally posting things like that to make other people look bad and to like try and create more division and shit. And it really sucks that there are some people out there that mean that. Like, I saw one person at one point be like, well, fuck those people, they're white. But for the majority of the people that I have seen out there, at least here, they're like, no, we need to all come together. It's not, like, yeah, this is a black problem, but this is everybody's problem. We need to, like, come together as a community and shit. There's not any of that racism in any fucking direction. And that's what we really need is people just coming together to try and like pull each other up and then turn on the government and fight them together.
So a big word, I know I3 has been talking about moving more to the right, a big word that I've been seeing among the right wing, because I follow a lot of right wing creators, I'm actually quite a connoisseur of it, is anarcho tyranny. And I think a lot of people do resonate with this idea of anarcho tyranny, where they feel that the system is being allowed to break down, and that certain people who are business owners, people who are homeowners, white people, feel like they're being tyrannized against. And I think that that's one of my main problems that I have. It's not necessarily that I'm against like Black Lives Matter, but I wish that the whole thing could not be framed in a racial context, because I think it's scaring people away. And I think the major issue is that we are against things like the war on drugs. We're against things like, over policing communities. It doesn't necessarily matter, even though these things are serious issues that affect mostly Black people. I think that the racial issue is causing people to develop both psychological fears. I think also people are just don't like, the average person hates violence. They don't want to see things being looted. It does feel like it's a narco tyranny. It does feel like certain groups of people are just being allowed to have violence happen against them. Police are just standing back and saying, oh, here you go, anarchy. But there's only certain people who are getting, the brunt of this, which is the property owners.
Showing everybody that most of these protests were peaceful until they got gassed. Most of these protests were peaceful until they fired on people. Like, I watched them in Tucson. They fucking unleashed on a whole crowd of people because one person threw a can. One person threw a can.
A single thing thrown warrants an entire crowd getting gassed. And holy shit, that's a lot of wind. But
and like, all that honestly, like, we all have the same problems, and it shouldn't be a racial thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, we should all be there complaining every time this fucking happens. But the thing is, like, the Black community of our nation are the ones that actually rose up, and it's time that we rise up with them and back them.
Yeah.
Because, like, we can't. Everybody has been waiting for somebody to fucking take the lead and do something.
Mm-hmm.
And now that people are doing something, there's a lot of anarchists out there that are like, oh wait. And I'm like, you fucking pussies. Get the fuck up. And if things are not being worded the way you want them to be worded, go out there and fucking talk to people. Stop sitting on your fucking thumb and spinning and hoping for it to be the way you like it. Go get
I
involved.
have a friend who was posting
Yeah.
on Instagram, and she's like, I don't know where all these Second Amendment people, all these libertarian people, where are they? I thought they were against tyranny, but they're not. Where are you guys? And I DM'd her, and I'm like,
Yo,
at the protest.
Oh, we're at the
See you
protest.
there, but
Mhm.
we're
Where you at?
there. We're definitely. Yeah, I don't know where
Mhm.
she's been, but definitely
Fucking at
not at the
Starbucks,
protest
homie.
I've been.
You
Bitching
don't
about
need to
capitalism.
Oh well,
Right.
actually, no. I feel bad. Her parents would not let her leave. So I mean, I guess that's.
I'll protest when the protesters protest an IRS building or the Federal Reserve.
Then make them go do that.
Then go out there
They
and talk
go
to them
start it.
and
Don't wait
organize
for
That's
and
what this shit is
somebody
all
else.
about. The whole
thing
reason
is,
Mike are
though,
doing this is because we want to be able to direct this stuff.
like,
Rather
one
than
of
going out to where the police want you to be, why the fuck are we not at the mayor's house? Let them answer for what's going on. There's no point marching down the streets. It's not accomplishing a fucking lot. You know what
That's-
does? Making the mayor actually scared. That's why
Yeah.
we need to know where the mayor lives and every fucking police officer lives. They need to fear the people. It's not fucking the other way around. I should not get scared when a police officer is pulling me over. A police officer should get scared whenever they are pulling someone over because they're
Or when they
afraid of
get
fucking
scared
going
is
to
when they
jail
shoot you,
for
so.
shooting somebody
Well,
accidentally.
and you don't even have to be violent to do that. And honestly, marching down the street actually is fucking useful because we have made them fucking scared of us to the point where they're calling emergency sessions.
The
and shit like
trade-off
that.
is not enough.
No, we're
The,
not
the
giving
There are more
out.
PR
efficient
versus
ways
what's
to scare
actually
them.
changed is not worth it.
Here in Arkansas, we're pushing for like policy and organizing and getting really fucking serious about this shit. And they're
Nothing's
actually,
getting serious here.
well,
Like
we need
I
to-
wish it was the case elsewhere, but like I'm seeing, and this is my city, this is a lot of other cities as well, where just like nothing happened. They instituted a curfew. People were stupid enough to listen to it. I remember there was a cop, and I was on the phone with Mike like a minute after. He stopped me. He's like, "Hey, you know it's after the curfew, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Where's the protest happening?" And he told me there wasn't one before being interrupted by an explosion of a tear gas canister probably a couple blocks away. So that was a lie. But we're not seeing any change. We're not seeing anything effective. Maybe it is time that we move to means that'll be more effective. Maybe we should be showing up at people's houses. Maybe we
Knock, knock,
should be
Mr.
showing
Mayor.
up at different.
Well, I mean, we
Knock,
went to the
knock.
governor's mansion, so like, I mean, we did go to people's houses.
The whole idea of going to the Capitol building. You think they're fucking there? Are you fucking kidding me? There's not a single congressman there. There's not a fucking state representative there.
You might
Go
scare
to
a
their
janitor.
fucking house and have a protest. How does that
Actually,
sound?
like, we've
Make
had-
them answer for what is happening.
we've
These are
been-
the people beholden to you. Make it so.
We've been bringing people, like, we've been making them come out and fucking talk to us and shit like that, which is
Mike.
interesting. We'll see if we can hold them to it though, and there are people out there talking about how we can hold our local government accountable. They've been signing people up to vote out there and everything like that, and trying to talk to people about the things that are the actual issues and teaching them about them while they're out there doing their speaking and stuff. And trying to show people how we can take control of our local areas, which is very important, and it's really good. Like, if we don't have to fucking get violent, then we shouldn't have to get violent. Let's fucking push for some change and make it. But we can't get one change and then give up. We have to keep pushing for everything.
We need
And we have
all
to
to change.
rebuild our communities and strengthen our communities and maintain our communities.
So
Because
that-
change isn't going to happen from the top up. The executive branch can only give us so much and shit like that.
And they're not going to give up anything. He's too busy hiding in his bunker, or sorry, inspecting his bunker.
Yeah, we need to take back our counties. We need to take back our cities. We need to take back our states. And we can do that. That is feasible if we all work together and we focus and we drive ourselves at issues. But we can't be single issue people here. All of these things that are problems, they're intertwined with each other, and we're gonna have to either disentangle them or fix multiple things in order to even see a result come through.
I want to hit on that real quick. Mike and I didn't go out there for the Black Lives Matters bullshit. At least I didn't. I don't know about Mike. He's weird. We went out there for our own agenda. And the moment that it stopped going with what we agree with, I fucking pulled Mike out of there. I said, we're not doing this. They're starting to loot. We're not going to be here anymore. And we were fucking out of there. That That's whenever we were done. We were there for the protest, and we were there educating people about the police, about the police brutality, about why these large state things are wrong and how we can fix these things. It's not just brutality against black people. It's police brutality in general. I don't give a shit who's dying. They shouldn't be dying at all. That's the key here.
Well, you can speak for yourself because, like, I was out there for all those things, but I was also out there for Black Lives Matters because, like, I do believe that right now we should be fucking supporting them and backing them, at least
Well,
when they're being as organized as they are here and stuff like that. Like, um, Black Lives Matter too. It doesn't mean that just saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean no other lives matter. It means that we have a rallying cry with which to make change, and
I
it's
don't
in a
want to go
place
out
that
there
really needs
for
it.
race-related
And
things.
the
That's the
only
whole
problem
point.
that I had
Here's
is
the thing with
if
Black
the
Lives
group,
Matter.
well, hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
If
Go,
the
fuck you.
group that I'm in, that we were in a group that got really kind of like anti-white person, and like I'm, we and we were like, well, okay, we're gonna go to a different protest, and we did that. We didn't stop protesting. We just went to a protest where people were welcoming and didn't have a fucking problem with what color we were, and which was fine. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with backing Black Lives Matter because I believe in it, but I believe in it so long as they're actually out there trying to do the right thing for each other in their communities and stuff.
No,
um
I
but I
they've
don't
gone a
care.
complete wrong way with it.
I think that here in Arkansas, they realize that, like, they need to talk to more than just black people too, because we need in our communities to reach out to each other, and we can't make change standing in our own corners.
Black Lives Matter is wrong because of the very name it's fucking self. They've ostracized other people. By saying Black Lives Matter, you've automatically made it, this is our group, this is what we're looking for, and it's radicalized other black people that have now made it a negative thing and pushed other groups of people away.
Well, I mean, like,
That's
you
exactly
don't.
what I3 was
So
talking about earlier. You have these
yeah.
people saying white people need to die. That's Black Lives Matter's fault, whether they want to admit it or not. That's why they should have said police are wrong. Fucking make a
Yeah,
group
but
called
like
that.
where
Well,
I'm at,
it's
people
about the
are
police,
saying
not
don't
about race.
fucking. People are out there saying, "Hey, don't fucking do that to people." And so it's not Black Lives Matters; it's the radicals of that group, and you can't fucking blame that group for its radicals when they're out there trying to tell them to calm the fuck down and stop it, and
PR
I
is
trying
what
to
is
like
told
support
important
the
here.
people
doctor,
and shit.
calm the fuck down. I'm
It's
just
not
telling
if
you.
you had a
PR.
house and somebody
It's
tore
not
down a
PR.
group, if somebody just tore down a fucking wall of your house, you're gonna be like, what the fuck happened to my wall? Why? Because the other ones might be next. You're gonna complain about the wall. How would you feel if the guy was like, oh, well, all your other walls matter too, bitch? That's not how it works. We have first it's suppressing the black people, and it has been forever. Next, they're going to start targeting other people, and it's just gonna get broader and broader. And then, oh shit, we live in a police state, and we're already starting to go down that slippery slope. So I would rather cut off the tyranny with any group, no matter who they are, no matter how. Like, no matter, I don't care if they want to see me lynched if I'm white. I'm going to fight
I
with
mean,
them against tyranny.
the stuff that we're seeing that's negative about Black Lives Matters is the same thing that everybody's been doing about every other fucking group. They find the worst thing and they fucking crop it out and they fucking put it right up in front of everybody and put it on repeat 17 bazillion times. And then the whole world judges a small group. I mean, judges a large group by a small group. And like that's the whole problem with like naming Antifa as terrorists who are dangerous and shit, because there are a lot of groups of Antifa out there that are not fucking violent.
No, that is
Antifa
actually a
Yes.
good
isn't even a
example.
group.
You have Black Lives Matter, that the name itself is inherently dismissive of other groups, where you have Antifa, which it shouldn't be, but you have shitty people in there that have made it
No,
to where it
no.
I think it's
It's
ostracizes
not
things.
dismissive
it's
groups.
not only Black Lives Matters. It's hashtag Black Lives Matters. It doesn't, maybe perhaps it should
What?
be, hey, Black Lives Matters
If I
too, but
if
like
I say
they're
I
not
like this
calling
house, that
themselves
doesn't mean I
Black
don't
Lives
like
Matter
other
because no
houses.
other life matters. They're talking about, hey,
I'm
y'all,
aware of that, but I'm saying that is how it can be perceived by people, especially when you do have those radical
by
groups in there
people who are
that are blowing
freaking
it up.
self-centered. Maybe
Then we
they're
need to
like,
fix
oh
those
no, this doesn't
misconceptions.
include me, I've got to be against it because it's clearly, if it
Mike,
doesn't
whether you
include
want to
me,
admit
it's
it or not,
bad.
marketing is a huge game for anything that's
Yeah.
politically related. If you want change, you have to have people behind the movement. It can't just be you doing your ideology. You have to have people behind it. So when
So
you
sell
have a
them.
Exactly.
Well,
That's why we fucking go out
fuck
to the
it.
protests and
I'm
try to
gonna
fix
reach
things.
out. I'm gonna reach out and see if I can't get some of them to come on here and fucking talk to us, because I think you guys are fucking wrong. And if you're saying that it's all about marketing, then let's show people the real fucking people behind these kinds of fucking movements, because I think that a lot of this judgment is being done unfairly. I don't think it's true. I don't think that Black Lives Matter is anything like what people fucking think it is.
I
Okay,
think that's actually a good
It's been
idea. You should get.
propagandized into something it isn't. It's
Yeah,
been made
it
into
really
this big
has, and I don't.
boogeyman that it really isn't. It's just a bunch of people who are saying, "Hey, we exist. Please stop killing
Yeah,
us."
please
Thanks.
killing us. Please stop killing us. Please stop killing our wives and
they
husbands
made a
and
marketing
children.
error in that they made it a group-oriented type of thing by saying Black Lives Matter.
Well, if it's
Anarchists have
just
a
a
bad
marketing,
reputation from the extreme. Black Lives Matter has a negative reputation from the extreme.
yeah,
Both
but
of
we
those
haven't
things are
stopped
true.
being
The difference is,
anarchists.
anarchist isn't inherently repealing to any particular groups other than the bootlickers, but go fuck themselves. Black Lives Matter is inherently group-oriented. It's saying we're black. That is the there's that.
No, it's saying that
There's
you think
that.
that Black Lives Matter. I
It's
think Black Lives
saying
matter.
that Black
I'm not
Lives
black.
Matter. Yeah, and they're very welcoming to people who are not black, and they love, like, they've been really fucking cool to me, and I've been like trying to help them out. Like, I've
You
been
are
trying to like
completely
do pictures
missing the
and shit
point
like that.
all over this. You're
These
acting like
people
I
are,
don't fucking understand that.
well,
What
I
I'm
know that,
saying
but
is the perception of the
saying it
market.
so that
Then
I'm
let's.
saying it so that people know that that's not actually true, because like people think one way and they're being presented that way, and they
L-
take it and they eat it up and regurgitate it times 20, but it doesn't make it true.
I
If people
personally
have a
think that
misconception, you
people are.
tell them the truth. You
Okay.
don't just
Well,
let them keep having a
wait, Max,
misconception.
let her say
Yeah.
something.
So I
Sorry.
think that part of the problem is that I think that Paxton and I3 are making a really good case. But my only concern with it is that I feel like that any sort of group, will take on a provocative tone. In the sense that no matter what they name it, that name will over time evolve. It's like anti-fascism. A lot of people critique against anti-fascism is like, oh, anti-fascism has a good name. It has a name that sounds good, but in practice, people have it. So I feel like that a lot of the issue is also media presentation of people don't want change, and that any group that's radical and is actually agitating for serious change against the system will get a lot of negative reaction against them. So maybe there's a good point that Black Lives Matter is bad at marketing, but I don't necessarily think that it would be really much substantially better if they had a different name. The people, powers that be, are still going to try to manufacture, the consent of the people against such a group, because it represents a substantial problem to their power, really.
The problem is that race is entirely way too important in the country. So
Sure, yeah.
organizing your group with such a like, if you did White Lives Matter as an organization, it would be a completely different group. Exactly.
Yeah,
oh
that would
God.
be like
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, I agree with you. I think like you can't unentangle the race issue. My only concern is that like I still feel like there's, no matter what name is picked, you would still have a large media effort to tarnish the name.
And it does
But
happen.
yeah, I
no
agree
matter
with
what
that.
name is picked.
All I'm saying is it's a little bit easier because they've
Otherwise,
chosen the
everybody
racial
wouldn't
aspect
think
of it.
that libertarians were pedos,
It's
actually
pedophilia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
pedophilia. Excuse me.
She's 14.
Demonetized.
Wait, we were
By the way, in
already?
case anybody fucking wonders, this is not a crack pipe. It's a weed thing. It's chillums. They're really cool. You can get them for like
It should
$5
all be legal.
if
It doesn't
you break
matter.
them. It sucks.
All
I mean, it
drugs are
doesn't suck.
legal. I'm with Paxton on that.
This is not a crack pipe. I'll get a picture of a crack pipe.
Can we completely break away from all this and just talk about how we got to fucking meet Maj though?
Yeah,
Okay, so this weekend it was really cool. Last weekend, before we got gassed and everything like that, we did get to spend an afternoon watching people, not just Maj, but other people teach people about beginner gun safety and how to handle it and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
professional shooters.
like we got to take notes on how they were teaching people stuff and things that they mentioned that like I never even thought to mention to people and stuff like that. It's good shit.
Dude,
And
Maj
then,
is incredible at it too.
oh man, he is so good. He watches people. Like I watched him watch people, and he'd be like, you look confused. What's your question? What's your
He's
question? You're like, he doesn't
very
let you
engaging.
not ask. You know, he's incredibly good at this shit. Holy crap! I want
If
him
he
to
wasn't
come
such
to
a
Little
gangster,
Rock.
he would be a great teacher.
I want him to
Well,
come to Little
kinda
Rock,
is.
and
He's
I mean,
kinda
he said that
technically-
he
Yeah.
said let's try and make that shit happen. So maybe we'll get him in Little Rock soon. I'm
Did you ever get a
hoping.
chance to
Cross your
call him
fingers,
yet?
y'all. I texted him a lot. I'm
Don't
gonna
text
call
him. Texting does not work with Maj at
Oh,
all.
okay, I'll call
I've
him.
tried. I've got like
I'll
a whole
straight up
list of
call him.
text
Okay,
messages.
okay, I'll straight up call him then tomorrow. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's gonna get
He's
late
such a boomer when
now.
it comes to
Um,
text.
fuck, I hate calling people. Why can't
I
you
know,
just
it's awkward.
fucking text
You're a
people
Zoomer.
forever? Jesus Christ.
You're
Ugh.
calling us now, Mike, using the Zoom app. Duh.
Jeez, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
this
such a boomer,
conversation
Mike.
would be just like text messages on stream.
Well, I
More
mean,
text
like,
messages.
aren't any of you guys scared about them fucking generalizing us too? I mean, they're generalizing BLM and trying to sell it as the dangerous race-oriented
Don't they already generalize us?
over-focused thing.
Uh-oh,
But,
Mike
like,
and
I mean-
I'm getting into this
but
argument
now,
again.
but
Yeah.
they're generalizing us too as anarchists and shit like that. They're presenting to their idiot masses that will just eat up whatever they're told. That
And
we're
that's why we gotta
dangerous
inform people as to the
extremists
truth.
and that we're Antifa and all sorts of shit like
I
that.
just tell them I watch the same media you watch. I watch your videos. Like on the right and left, I've talked to Vincent James supporters and Tim Pool supporters, and hey, you may call me an anarchist, but guess what? I watch the people that you watch all the time. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, don't tell me.
that's gonna do a lot of good in places filled with fucking like there are, you know, they say the radical left is really scary and violent and shit like that, but the radical right are too. And like when his fucking psycho fans fucking bid into this shit, they buy that stuff and they get dangerous.
They get very dangerous.
Um,
And I mean, like, we have like states of emergency going on right now. They're fucking National Guard and shit all over the place, even though people are non-violent, and like it feels dangerous. It feels
They've got
dangerous.
hundreds of police cars in parking lots and all this shit. No protests going on at all.
Well, yeah, Asa
It's like
has
you're
like
asking for
taken
something to
over
happen.
this, like he's taking control of the state police, and he's pretending to be nice with people, but he's still holding all this shit up, you know.
I have a question on why is it that, so a black man dies to the police, right?
Yeah.
Brutal way. Don't support it. Shouldn't have happened. Police shouldn't have been there in the first place, right? Well, we all can agree on that.
Yeah.
Why was there no protests and riots for Duncan Lemp?
Well, we wanted
white
there to
people
be,
were
but
too scared to
nobody
do
fucking
anything.
cared
Where
enough.
was Black Lives Matter for that, Mike?
Exactly.
Did
I'm
you-
That's the
confused.
point.
I
They
thought
were
all
hypocritical.
lives matter.
movement.
Why the
They're
fuck should they
hypocritical.
stand up for us if we're not even fucking doing it? Like, I mean,
We were
nobody-
there. I don't know what the fuck you mean.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
How many?
how are
There
we
was
supposed
there
to
was
start a
just as many
riot when
white people
nobody
there
fucking
as there were
cares?
black people. So I don't
Yeah,
know what
you're
the
in
fuck they
Oklahoma.
mean that white people aren't supporting them.
When was there nationwide fucking shit about Duncan Limp? People just
Do you remember the
complained
last
about it
time a
and
guy
then left
fucking
it
got killed
alone.
over cigarettes? I remember protesting involving lots of white people as well. I'm very confused. That's why I don't like this to be a racial fucking thing. They
They
want
should
to
be
say
too.
that
Go
we're
out
not supporting
there
them.
and
There's
make
plenty.
it not racial. Like, the only way we can make it not racial is to support each other no matter fucking what.
I'm fully behind the
If you're
idea
gonna
that if
hold people like you're like, oh, they didn't help us, so we shouldn't help them, then like, I mean, like, speak for yourself
I
first off.
wasn't
'cause
there
fuck
to help
I
them to
mean-
begin with. I
thing.
was
Look,
there
I think
because
Paxton
anarchist and I fucking hate the police.
What, Melanie?
Paxton's correct though, but yeah, I was just gonna say that like yeah, violence against white people does not have revolutionary potential in the
It
system.
really doesn't, unfortunately.
That's just sadly I don't know what to say. I mean, I agree with what Paxton's saying. I just it sadly just doesn't get people out.
We should
Well,
make
I
a
mean-
White Lives Matter group.
Fuck
That's
that.
what we need
If
to do.
PR is so fucking
There's
important to
not a
you
whole
in
lot of white
marketing and
people out
shit,
there that,
That's just petty.
you know,
if the PR is so fucking important to you that it wards you away from BLM, then why do you ignore the PR of protesting for white people? Because like usually like they immediately go, oh, look at the white supremacists. Wouldn't you shy away from that too?
Are you talking to
White
me?
Lives Matter is bad
Yeah.
marketing too.
No, because Donald Trump's president, so it doesn't matter. It's cool now.
Orange lives matter.
Donald Trump.
Orange lives matter.
Being a
Okay,
nationalist
everybody
is cool
take turns.
again.
Fuck Donald Trump. Your turn,
I, for
Paxton.
one, think that if we wait for one group to be doing everything the way we fucking want it to, before we step in and fucking make a fucking noise about all this shit, and it has to be perfect for us, then we're never, as a nation, going to move forward. We're gonna be sitting here waiting for the rest of our fucking lives. And if we
No, that's
want
why we're
things,
there.
if we want things to happen, we have to go out there and make it fucking happen. And
Yep.
I don't care if you're black, white, brown, purple, green, or fucking plaid. I'm gonna be
Please
out
don't
there
be
telling
plaid.
you about what the government fucking does to us and
Paxton,
trying to
you're
encourage
plaid.
people to do something about it. And when I see a bunch of black people acting like peaceful, beautiful, accepting creatures that like the likes of which we can't fucking be at this point because we're too busy fucking worrying about PR and crap. Like it's bullshit. They're out there trying to make a change and they're doing it smart here and they're doing it together and they're asking everybody to join them and to make a stand against something.
Post the
If
video of
we-
that preacher, like in the video description. We need a link to that.
If we like
that
fucking
was
yeah, if we fucking wait for other people to do this, we'll be waiting the rest of our lives though. We need to be standing there with each other. And anytime we fight an injustice, anytime we fight a tyranny, we are that much fucking closer to freedom. It doesn't fucking matter what the name of the organization is. It doesn't matter what the media says about us. It doesn't matter what the government says about them. It doesn't matter. All that fucking shit doesn't matter. We have to fucking help each other when we fight tyranny, no matter fucking what, or we are going to lose because we are running out of fucking time. I don't know if you fucking noticed.
No, I'm okay with that though. That's the difference between you and I.
You're an
hey, seriously, when's the next plane
accelerationist.
ticket to Mexico City?
I'm
Well-
hoping one of these rides turns into the National Guard comes in and people end up dying from the National Guard, because what's going to happen is people are going to fucking realize that that is where your tax dollars are going. That the
Yeah.
people were so tired of the things that the police couldn't handle it, so the fucking military had to come in, and the people that are supposed to defend the Constitution have executed civilians and were proud and happy to do so, and they would do it again after sucking off Donald
Yeah.
Trump's cock. That's
be
where your tax
honest,
dollars are going.
Yeah, but you're not saying that you hope people die. You're hoping that something happens that wakes everybody the fuck up. That doesn't necessarily
Accelerate.
require people dying. Just anything of that fucking proportion would work.
It doesn't seem like it. No,
Do you
it doesn't
really
seem
only
like it.
think that people will only wake up if people die?
When was the
like-
protests that were happening about cigarette laws before that guy died? People don't do shit until their backs are against the fucking walls.
I sincerely hope it doesn't have to get to that. 'cause
People are
I
too
don't
fucking
want it.
content.
I don't want
People are
to
too
have to pay
content.
for it with their lives, but
People
when
are
so many people
designed to
already
be.
have of so many different colors, you know?
People are designed to take
People-
it easy. We love the air-conditioned rooms. We love fucking eating our fast food, and we love ignoring the harsh realities of life. That's what capitalism is good at.
Well,
That's
and
the
as long
downside
as-
of it all.
Yeah, and as long as we're complacent and simple and satisfied and
That's all it takes.
stupid, it's all it takes to keep us from
That's
not
all
just
it
us,
takes.
but everybody.
Bread
Like,
and games. Bread and games. It's what kept the Roman Empire going for as long as it fucking did. Wasn't
But,
nearly as
know,
great as it was fucking saying
our
that it was.
complacency now for any fucking reason
Marketing.
is not acceptable though. We can't
No.
be complacent in anything ever again because we've already given so much ground. There's nowhere fucking left to go. We can't be complacent in this Black Lives Matter movement. We can't be complacent in any movement at this
That's
point.
why.
We have
That's
to
why it's
fucking be out there
important.
doing it.
That's
That's why
we
it's
have to be
important
there.
that we keep doing what we are doing, even when this shit isn't blowing up. Even when there aren't protests on the streets like we want, and people hating the police like we would love for them to do on a regular basis. This is our day job.
Well, yeah.
Them being out there and fucking bitching about the police is our day-to-day basis.
Well, we
This is
don't
pretty
just-
hard. Why don't we just
and-
get
and-
an island?
We don't just need to be out there pushing constantly. We need to be meeting our communities while we're out there, making connections, bringing people together. Because, like I said earlier, if we really want change, we can't do it with everybody sitting in their corners. We have to come together as individual communities, full of individuals who are all fucking different and beautiful.
That sounds like work.
It is.
We're the
It's a lot of
police
fucking
PR
work.
team.
We're the
Other
what?
people.
Oh, wait, I can't say
beautiful.
that because then we're terrorists. So no.
Oh God, Look at what you've done.
Fucking
Well,
ISIS has a PR team. What do you
demonetized.
mean?
Hey,
They have
so,
Now
more
we're
like,
fucking
losing
followers
on
than we do.
if we move to an island and we're anarchists, does that mean the United States CIA shit will fucking sell us weapons of mass
Like,
destruction?
No,
Like,
that's only
where's
if
my
you.
AK?
That's only if you democratically elect a communist or somebody that doesn't allow them to have oil. Then they'll give the terrorists money and
I
whatnot.
want to talk
Okay,
about
we
something.
democratically elect Taiki and then overthrow them using the guns that the U.S. gives us.
I think
That sounds fair to me.
Speaking
Allah
of,
Akbar.
I want to talk about something that's not fucking relevant to the protests that I saw happening that was like really bugging the shit out of me. Like,
Before you go into that, I think our point was that Maj is a beautiful human being, and we hope
yes,
that he keeps
is.
arming the people.
He's very beautiful, and he
Hey,
needs to
Majestic.
keep,
The
yes,
hashtag I'll
majestic.
support
That
with
is
that
a
is
king,
Black
a
Guns Matter.
motherfucking king.
Black Guns Matter. That's the only hashtag I'll support. Black Guns Matter.
Black Guns Matter is a good group. Y'all help them out. Buy their
BGM.
t-shirts. They got
That being
badass-
said, we are actually going to be making a shirt where we're going to be donating some amount of money to the Black Guns Matter for each cell
for
that we
each
make
cell that we make.
in honor of
They're
meeting
doing
Maj
website
and
because
that
it
it's
was
a good
super awesome.
organization.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's great shit. It's good. And
We love you, Maj.
yes, we love you. Mwah.
That's gay, Mike. Too far.
I'm very gay. It's all right.
Hey, you remember how he got kicked out of the LP because of his homophobic remarks?
Telling someone to eat a dick is not homophobic.
I mean, if they
I mean,
enjoy it, it's not.
technically, it's inviting. It's like the opposite of eat a dick is like the opposite of homophobic. You're encouraging someone to eat a dick.
Wait, did they
like-
literally kick
I
him out of
leave
the
the shoe
LP
away
because he
toddlers
said
when I
eat a
come
dick
back.
and they
Yeah,
said it was
Kick him
homophobic?
out of the LP. They
He
kicked him-
told
okay,
he told a
they-
high spender in the LP to eat a dick.
because they were being
And they
rude to
stopped
him,
supporting
and
him.
they told him he couldn't do the fucking LP
Keynote speaker,
national
yeah.
keynote speaker thing.
I would have
and then he
loved to
was
have
like,
that
fuck
in
y'all,
the
fuck
keynote
y'all.
speech address. Like in the keynote speaking address, you said, "Now let's tell everyone to eat a dick. Repeat after me."
Now it's kind of a running joke in the people that support Maj to tell people to go cordially eat a dick. That way it's
Would you
not rude.
cordially go eat a dick, please?
Hey, no,
Sir.
I would say carefully devour a penis.
Whoa, that's too extreme.
Yeah, that's
Please
too
insert
extreme. You
my
said the penis
phallic
word.
receptacle
Oh God.
into your devouring hole.
Well, speaking of bullshit, Nick does like. Did you see on Twitter that he was like, "What if we invite Mattis to join the
Mattis.
LP?" And I was like,
Maybe
"Are
as
you
a
fucking
friend, not as
shitting
a
me, you
member.
fucking moron?" What is
Okay.
I mean,
he
like,
doing?
we could
Like,
use
is he
him as
just
a
trying to?
friend.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to have Mattis as a friend. Mattis would be a great friend to have out there, an ally to Liberty and stuff like that. And he has a lot of really great ideas, but like he's
Mad
kind
respect
of
for him.
not really a libertarian at all. And like
It's like
Make 'em
never
inviting
claimed
fucking
to be
Hillary
a
Clinton,
libertarian
honestly.
as far as I know, has he? 'Cause,
Honestly,
like,
let's
I don't
invite the
remember.
Clintons.
Like if we can
Let's do it.
if we can like convert him, that would be awesome. But like let's calm down. Like what is he doing with the party? Like why is he inviting all these crazy
I would like to
statists?
officially
swear he's a
invite
spy.
Hillary and Bill Clinton into the Libertarian Party.
He's been bought out because he's not gonna freaking run again, and like he's
It's-
trying to
yeah.
like
I think
take
he's
us
trying to sink
down on
us.
his way out.
He's riding the coattails.
Oh my god.
He's riding the coattails.
We
The
need a
red
hero.
coattails.
We need a hero. We need an
Not the
actual
red
like
coattails. The
somebody
coattails
who
that
will actually
paid
like
him off.
I
I need
can't
a
even
hero.
acknowledge the LNC at this point. You know, it's a joke.
Mike
And-
refuses to accept the
And
LNC
the
as an
national
actual thing
party
that
is
exists.
kind of a pain in the ass at this point. And like, you know, I love the Libertarian Party, but like there's only so many people out there that are willing to actually do some shit. The rest of them want to talk right now, and it'd be nice to get more people out there involved in things.
So I'd like to ask Libertarian Party, where were you?
And in order to do that, we have to all get involved on a local level and grab our people where we are. And that's what we're trying to do. And other people are trying to do it too. And maybe, you know, like if you guys are out there watching this shit and you want to like network or anything, hit us the fuck up. Just call
See
us
in the
at
Discord, we're in there
MLTP
constantly.
at madliberteaparty.com, or like, you know, yeah, definitely in the Discord.
If you want to contact us, use the Discord.
Yeah, the Discord is the best way to reach us, and that is linked in every one of our videos for sure.
And by
It's
us,
super
I
easy.
mean Mike, myself. Paxton's never on there.
What am I on?
Nothing. PCP probably.
Yeah, he's never on the. He's almost never in the Discord, but he doesn't. He doesn't do that. He has no time. He's too busy at
Like
work.
3 jobs. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, he's being very productive out there in the world of working the white market.
He's funding it. He's funding
white
this.
market. Yeah, okay.
Yuck.
You can get in contact with
funding
me
us.
by
Don't
going to
complain, Mike.
blowjobinstituteofamerica.com. Just want to clarify, that's where you'll find me, since I'm a junior policy advisor there. So
Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
and-
We should
and
ask
we'll see
questions
if we
for
can-
the doctor about what's the perfect blowjob, and positions and techniques.
well, you see, that's actually a common. That's not necessarily. That's you see, there's a lot of misunderstandings here because different penises require different techniques, of course, like that. So you have to kind of. There's multiple things you can really try out because sometimes you have to work the balls, you know.
This is leftist
So, like-
propaganda.
Sometimes you want to go with
So
the
what's
shaft,
that-
but sometimes
So
you
what?
know, like
So
no,
what
don't-
blowjob is best for Donald Trump's dick? Because I know that.
Well, you're gonna have to
Putin's
send
been
me a
sucking that a lot,
picture.
and the National Guard has been sucking
Yeah.
it a lot. I want to know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Dill, do
Well,
you
you're
think
should
that you
ask an
can-
expert on Donald Trump's penis? I don't particularly specialize in Donald Trump's penis.
Do
Could you
you
refer
think
me
you
to an
can show me
expert?
some examples?
Yeah, I'm gonna swipe over and check out what the. fuck
Well,
it
I mean, let me find a banana.
Swipe
and,
over.
I'm waiting. You take your time though.
Yeah. I'm gonna find something. Let's don't get us. I want to get us kicked off of YouTube. Let's see.
My cat's
Do you
choking
think
me
that
to
You
death.
that's
have
gonna
a
be what
you have
gets
a
us
don't
kicked
tread
off
on
of
me snake
YouTube?
behind you. What do you mean
That is
get kicked off
facts.
YouTube?
I mean, I've only gotten one video removed from YouTube, and I won't mention what it was.
Which one was it?
Shh, it's secret. I can't name the group
Was that
I
your
pissed off.
OnlyFans account announcement?
Hey, so like, I know that Epstein isn't
Yeah.
dead and all that shit, but like, how would you give him a blowjob?
Oh, well, I think I'm a little
Carefully.
too old for that, Mike.
Unenthusiastically,
really?
because of course.
So,
Oh, fuck.
are you
God.
discussing ages younger than you then?
Yeah, I just don't think it would work, you know. Just be all like, you know, if I tried to do it, he'd be like, "You're too old for me.
Get out of
I'm
here.
just such an old hag, you know. I'm 22,
Yeah, you are.
so
You are too old. You're right.
too old, man. You know, just go.
You're
Are
such
you
a
really
boomer.
22?
Yeah, I'm 22. Why?
Oh, fuck.
You didn't know
Paxton was like this, and he went.
Yeah, I was
He
like,
pulled-
oh,
he
pulled
there
an
goes all
Epstein.
my options. There we go.
Paxton
Oh
just
my
did an
God.
Epstein.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Paxton did
Killing
an Epstein. Put that in the quotes channel.
Paxton
Yes,
did an
but that-
Epstein.
If I did an Epstein, I'd fucking end up with 2 fucking bullet holes in the back of my skull.
You didn't do it though.
It's kind of interesting how many different views we have on here, because like some of us sort of agree, but like none of us agree 100% on anything so far. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to actually reach out to some
It's almost like we're
people-
independent thinkers.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's almost
And we
like we're all
didn't-
anarchists and,
and
we
we're
came to
still
the
a-
conclusion.
And we're
Cool.
still a group, and we're still friends and everything. Except for
We're
with
not
Paxton, he's
individuals.
clearly a racist, and I can't talk to him anymore.
Oh yeah,
But,
I3 and I are totally cutting off after this.
Yeah, we're breaking up. This is the last episode.
What? This is my first episode.
You never
This is
can
only
break
the
up with
second
I3.
episode.
He
It
is
can't
the
be the
machine.
last
This
one.
is
We have
my
to stay
second
together.
episode because you didn't upload the one I sent you, Mike.
I have to upload that. It's really good and it's still pertinent.
I think we have like
It's really
30
good.
videos.
So
to
good
upload,
that my
honestly.
camera quality is shit.
Well, do you want to redo it real quick?
No.
You can add some stuff to it now that you've had a chance to like see.
Yeah,
things.
because that was before I was actually able to
Yeah,
go.
why
and see
don't
the
why don't you
microphone.
redo it real quick and I'll get it up on. Oh, anyways, you guys take
Yeah.
care. Make sure that you like and subscribe and that
Join the
you share
Discord.
this around and come join the
Mwah.
Discord. Come help us out.
Join the
Get
Discord.
down there and look at our collection of t-shirts. We have like a tank top that's all tropical and it says "fuck the police." We have like we have a bunch of weird shirts that are branding, and then another one that's the simp shirt, which is on the back it says "suckers idolizing mediocre
Mediocre
presidents." and things like that. Get in there or come to our subscribe star and toss in. And if you don't have any money but you want to help, like we say all the time, get in the Discord and hit us
Yeah.
up. We'll find some way for you guys to help us out here. And
If you don't have money, go away. We can't have you not funding Mike's cocaine addiction.
shut up.
That's clearly a crack
Don't
pipe.
tell them I do crack. Crack is not what I mean. Crack is
Crack
whack.
is whack, y'all.
Crack is
Crack
whack.
is whack, y'all. And on that note, everybody here, be safe and be free. This Spilling
Yeah.
the Tea episode is adjourned.
Darn.